I get a lot of comments from you all who watch my videos that my clever intro often makes you laugh, but I have nothing today. I got nothing clever to say. Sorry. Hey Booktube, it's me, Kim, at Middle of the Book March, and this is my Bookish week for Saturday, February 12th. And yeah, some more exciting news, big exciting stuff. This is going to be a shorter video, I hope, because as you're watching this, I will hopefully be at my daughter's house, which she and her husband just closed on Friday. So I was going to help clean and paint the walls and that type of stuff. Getting ready for my grandbaby. So yeah, and I finished 2 books last week, but one of them is for the Booktube Prize in Translated Fiction, so I'm not going to talk about that. The other book that I finished, and I have another part of a commentary, is Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi. Akwaeke Emezi is a Igbo and Tamil writer, Nigerian origin, and no, that's their name. Freshwater is their debut novel. This is an interesting story because I tried to read Freshwater, I believe last year, on my Kindle, after I read The Death of Vivek Oji, which I enjoyed. But I tried to read Freshwater on my Kindle, and I DNF'd it. I put it down because it just wasn't working for me, and I don't know if it was the book itself or the format. And as I now know, after reading it in my physical copy, it was the format, because I thought this book was brilliant. And I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. This is the story of our main character, whose name is Ada. Or is that our main character? And the general idea of this book is she's a very unusual child, born, as it's described, with 1 foot on the other side. So there's a very strong spiritual, magical, realist component to the novel. And Ada shows some differences from her siblings as a very young child. And her parents believe that she's different, she's off, there's something weird or odd about her. But throughout the book, you get to hear the perspectives of some of the other beings or spirits or personalities that live within Ada and her mind. There is a lot of discussion about trauma and mental illness, all kinds of triggers in here, you know, so it's if you're interested in reading Freshwater, it just triggers everywhere. Abuse, mental illness, sexual assault, a lot of different things, so FYI. But ultimately, this is a book about a young woman coming to terms with her own psychology, her own mental health, and her sexuality. There's discussion of gender fluidity in the book, and family dysfunction and family dynamics, and what happened in this child's life to lead her to get to the point where she's at, where we're actually listening to the different parts of her. I thought it was so well done and so unique and creative to write this novel in this way. The way that Emezi wrote the book is such a different, masterful way to use language and tone and perspective. It was so beautifully done and so poetic, and at the same time, so much of the prose was fluid and violent and lovely. It's so good. And I was so glad I found this physical copy book thrifting. And I started to realize that my reading experience is typically totally different when I read the paper copy of a book versus when I read an ebook. And I read a lot of ebooks, but for this particular book, there's something about holding it in my hands. There's something about turning the pages, being able to see when I'm close to the end. I hate that about ebooks. And yeah, I know the bottom registers the pages and the locations and all that. This is different though when you're reading the paper. And the feel, the texture of the pages, just being able to look at the artwork on the cover of any book, you know, normally the artwork appears in color, and just looking at the art, it's all a much different experience than when I'm reading the ebook. And it's not as powerful for me. And I'm starting to realize which books are going to work on ebook and which are not for me. So that's it for the book I finished. And 2 books I finished. Yeah, the other one is super top secret. So what am I currently reading? I'm reading another book off the BookTube prize off my Kindle, and I won't talk about that one. So I have 4 currently reading. I have the hard copy of this book, but I am listening to it on audio. This is Morgan Jerkins' This Will Be My Undoing. Holy crap, this is extremely powerful. This is a series of essays, and she is a journalist and a writer, an academic, and it's her debut essay collection. She talks about being a Black woman in America, talks about her childhood, her career, her college education, what it's like not just being a woman in the United States, being a feminist woman, but being a Black feminist woman, and the comparison between white America and Black America, and how different it is to be a Black woman and what she walks with every day. Extremely powerful. And I'm probably going to be done with that early next week. I am buddy reading The Barbizon by Paulina Bren. This is with Heidi and Britta. This is the hotel that set women free, the hotel in New York City, which was opened in the end of the 1920s and was a exclusively women hotel. Basically giving women the opportunity for independence. So we're about halfway through that book. And the other book I'm reading in hard copy is One Person, One Vote by Carol Anderson. Another holy crap. The power of this book. This is a very short one. It's less than 200 pages. I never do this. I never tab this much. And I rarely, in some hardcovers, I highlight, but I've highlighted every single page. It's been a very slow read on this one because it's so powerful, impeccably researched, infuriating. And if any of you are following American politics and what's going on out there with voting registration, voter suppression, the audacity of Trump to demand Michael Pence to overturn the election in 2020, it's infuriating, this book, and so magnifying to the history that is absent to many of us white Americans. When you want to talk, well, you know, watch Brian at Bookish on his channel talk about critical race theory. When you really want to know why things are the way they are in this country, this is a great book as part of your list of things to read. This one I'm going to take my time, but it's just, I have to put it down here and there because I am so enraged and, I don't know what the other words are, just speechless at the history of our country and the history of our treatment of Black Americans, and just, it's outrageous and infuriating. So that's it. That's it for me. Just to whet your appetite, next week's middle of the week video is going to be a big giant book haul. So if you'd like to come back for that, that would be great. Thanks for watching. Write me a comment down below. Tell me what your thoughts are about any of the books or any of the conversation that I just had with you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.